Appreciate everyone being here tonight. We've got a good crowd here. It'll probably clear out pretty early in this agenda, I would think. So glad y'all came here to be here tonight. Roll call, please.
Mayor Harris,
Here.
Vice Mayor Dixon,
Here.
Councilmember Cardwell,
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
All right, the mayor's welcome is to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our monthly meeting, this Loudon City Council meeting. My name is Mayor Jeff Harris, and I'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight. Tennessee law gives every Tennessean the right to attend city council meetings and to observe how your government does business. We appreciate each one of you taking time out of your personal schedule to be here tonight. It's my intention as your chairman that we create a space where everyone feels seen, heard, respected, and valued. You should have a copy of tonight's agenda. If you don't have one, it's over on the table right there at the door. You can pick one up. This agenda is your guide to the topics we'll be discussing tonight. In order to conduct efficient, business-like meetings, the council has adopted some specific rules to follow. These rules are primarily designed to keep the meeting moving, to assure that all points of interest are heard and considered, and provide for common courtesy. In a few minutes, we'll come to the place on the agenda entitled Citizens Input. For anyone that's signed in, it's encouraged to speak to council. After you've been recognized, please approach the podium and address council, and observe 3 simple rules. 1, at the beginning of the presentation, state your name for the records. Please address all your questions and comments to the chair, and avoid the use of improper language, profanity, or any other inappropriate conduct. Once the citizens input portion is over, the council will proceed with the remainder of the agenda. You're welcome to stay and observe the meeting, but be advised that public comments will be limited to 3 minutes and at the discretion of city council. We ask everyone remember doing the people's business here tonight. It's a very important responsibility for all of us. You can help us do this business by observing the rules we've established for our meetings. Again, I want to welcome each one here to the Loudon City Council meeting. We're glad that you're here tonight. We want to recognize some visitors and give out some awards and recognize some folks for their dedicated service. First order of business is part-time officers, and Brew Baker, I'll let you kind of tee it up and then we'll call them up there to the front.
You gonna come around and present them?
Yeah.
So we're gonna recognize Tracy Harris and Bill Owen. Sam, you wanna come up too? Just wanted to point out these gentlemen's length of services as part-time officers. I don't know if you know how long it's been, Tracy, but 11 years and 3 months. And just to break that down, if you worked a total of 6,957 hours, which broke down to 51 hours a month. And Bill, you had 4 years and 3 months of service and 3,628 hours, which averaged 71 hours a month. Just want to remind everybody that these officers are held to the same yearly requirements and standards that our full-time officers are held to. And they also have full-time jobs to worry about and families to worry about, so their dedication level is equal to definitely our level of full-time officers. We want to recognize y'all for your dedication and effort to the city.
This plaque says presented to Bill Owens in appreciation and recognition of your 5 years of faithful and dedicated service to the Loudon Police Department and the citizens of Loudon.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Bill. That as well. And then this one is presented to my little brother. He's the little brother. He's bigger than me, but he's in age, he's younger. In appreciation and recognition of your 11 years of faithful and dedicated service to the Loudon Police Department and the citizens of Loudon. I can personally tell you, no one likes being a police officer better than this guy here. He loves being a police officer, and I know that personally. So, Tracy, appreciate you.
Mayor?
Oh, picture?
Yeah, because you guys are spread out too much.
Okay, come on in.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to ask Gary Hendricks to come up and he's our solid waste representative. This item's not on the agenda, but we're going to recognize him in our recognition of visitors. Give us a small report on solid waste.
Well, I'm a little unprepared because when I was asked to come, I wasn't sure what it is you wanted me to report out on. You got this question.
I think it's more of, I think that there's some questions.
There were questions about their closing procedures. So are they doing the correct closing procedures at the end of the day where they cover everything with cellulose and then covering at the end of the week with soil? Because neighbors have sent in pictures to where they're not doing that per them. We just want to know what.
Understand.
I think some of those pictures were dated, they didn't really know when they were taken.
Yeah.
Correct.
And things, so.
So the question is, are they doing it, and then how does the Solid Waste Commission enforce or monitor that they are doing it?
Well, that's the thing. We, as far as we know, they are covering it at the end of the day. I went up there myself 2 weeks ago, one evening before closing, and I saw the debris. I call it debris. It looks almost like paper, but it's a plastic scattered around. And at the end of the day, they take that and push it over top of the garbage during the weekdays. So the pictures that I saw looks like it was covered. That was the covering that they used. So there was some misunderstandings about what this covering is. A lot of people had the idea that it was just a long sheet of plastic which covered the whole thing like a tarp sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's pieces and shreds, and I say shreds, some of it's pretty big size.
It probably looks like trash.
It does look like trash. I thought the same thing when I first went up there with Republic, and they took me over there too, and I could see once I got over there too what it was. It's a large pieces of paper. So as it is covered, the pictures that I saw, that's what it looked like it was. But we're gonna continue to monitor that.
But you went up and saw them put that,
I saw it prior to them closing. They were not putting it on at that time, but I saw where it was stored at left.
and
They
what's,
were going to.
what's the process other than just a random look of how do we make sure that they are doing it?
Well, that's the thing. We don't have a schedule to go and monitor at that in the evenings that I'm gonna talk to out in Loudon, and figure out how we can make it happen.
Okay. Does anybody else have a question for Gary? I asked him to come just and again, we didn't ask for him to give an official report, but, there was just some questions that brought up at the workshop that I think we
Yeah.
need an answers to.
The other one is, if you can just get back to, so I don't know if you have to answer it right now, is on the expansion, I know there was a notice of, I forgot what they call it, a deficiency,
Mhm.
for that. Just where do we stand on that, on getting those resolved, and what's the progress of the expansion? Because I don't know, that we're within months of it being full without that expansion. Just curious on where we stood on that.
Right, I can't get into it exactly, but I do know that Republic is moving forward with confidence that the expansion will be done. They're clearing some land. They're not doing anything, there's no garbage or anything going down there. They're not doing anything that's illegal. But they're preparing the area still, and they're making the corrections as the deficiencies are.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't mind, can you just send something to Mayor and he can get it to the rest of us on just where they stand on working off those deficiencies as noted by TDEC?
I can't.
Okay, thank you, Gary.
Thanks.
Appreciate you coming. All right, next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. The agenda was mailed out on Friday. Do I have a motion to,
I'll make a motion we adopt.
do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Do we have any second? A second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, our agenda is adopted. Citizens input. I don't think anyone signed in, did they, Megan?
No, sir.
Okay, the next item is approval of the minutes. There's three, joint meeting, a regular meeting, and a joint meeting on August the 12th. I guess we can combine those?
Yes,
Mr.
Mayor.
Fry? Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve those.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions about the minutes of the meeting? Not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, next item for first resolution is approving Racetrack Inc. special use review application. This is required for development of truck stops within the C4 interchange commercial zoning district. This process is outlined in our Loudon zoning ordinance section 14314, special use review. The Loudon Regional Planning Commission reviewed this application from Racetrack at their July 10th meeting. They passed a motion to provide the city council a recommendation to approve it. with the following conditions: satisfactory completion of the traffic impact study, offset transportation improvements, design plans for the split signalization. That was completed, satisfactory completion of the site plan approval process, construction of any required offset transportation improvements prior to issuance of the CO, and developer provide assessment provisions for overnight parking and light pollution. With that, recommendation is from the planning commission and staff, request that city council approve or deny the application. So they have met the criteria that we set forth in that special use review. Representatives are here with displays if there's a question about traffic or the site or anything like that. Again, what we're approving or what we're considering here is the use of that site for this business.
Just cover, so, but we're also approving the recommended traffic improvements, lights and all that?
Yes, right, which was approved by TDOT and their traffic engineer, I think, is here, correct? Yeah, if there's any questions for.
Okay,
the
so
specifics.
I was to make sure that our wording is, turn to the attorney on circle 3 under section 1, where it says construction of any required. So that means the plan that's been approved by TDOT, correct? Or does it need to say that?
Well, it would be,
I was to make sure that we're
Right.
specific on what it is we're asking them to do prior to.
so the off-site transportation improvements, is that spelled out in the application?
So what we would ask is actually for them to satisfactorily complete that process. So along with TDOT, we'll be looking for final plans, working through details down to, for example, fiber network connectivity. Some of those items are still being worked out. What you have before you is a design that was coordinated through TDOT as the viable configuration for this intersection.
So who approves that plan?
TDOT and the city of Loudon. So
Who at the city?
me along with
Okay,
our
So I
staff
guess-
and TDOT.
I won't say concern, but how do we make sure that when we vote for this resolution, we're thinking there's gonna be one traffic plan, that it doesn't end up to a different or lesser plan than what we're looking at here, that we're voting on?
I think that there's been a level of diligence that has brought a design from kind of preliminary to more schematic, and that it would be more engineering details that would go into the next phase of a permitting set of drawings. So that would be the next phase would be a permit set.
Permit from planning commission?
From the city of Loudon, from TDOT, as being signalization on the
I
city.
see. I'm not sure if that's getting at what I'm getting at, which is, we think we're voting on a plan that does this in order to give them to approve their application. What sort of locks in that it doesn't go anything less than what because it's based on this plan is whether we're voting yes or no on this. And so we want to make sure that that plan doesn't change dramatically on us by the time it goes in, if we give the green light.
Sure.
But still gotta go before planning commission,
For a site plan review.
yeah, site plan review.
That'd be their next step. Come back to us.
Yeah, but again, this board is the one given the approval. Then we're sort of hoping others will follow along with this plan. But if they change their mind, we don't have any recourse.
It'd be brought back up to you again when the site plan, will it not?
Site plans don't have nothing to do with
Okay.
The site plan
Planning commission approved.
will reflect what has been approved by this board. So the site plan that you have in front of you is preliminary, it's maybe 60% complete. I'm just throwing a number to it. And then we'll finalize it with a final site plan, which is a buildable plan, which takes all the detail into play. And then what this site plan they approve is what they'll build.
I know.
If that makes sense.
Do we have any
It does.
wording to protect us on that? I guess that's kind of what we're getting at.
Right.
And I don't know,
And if we don't, can we get it?
I don't know how you build that in, I mean, because that is the planning commission's purview. So, you know, what you're doing here is approving the special use review, and they're saying that they're going to require them to install these off-site improvements, but that plan is, the final site plan is ultimately up to the
Planning
approval
commission.
of the planning.
But the site plan doesn't include the traffic updates and red lights, correct? That's a separate issue.
It would include that. You're welcome to speak.
Yeah, it's part of the site plan review, ordinance, contemplates the scenario where there may be, where you have a traffic impact study and adopting and incorporating the recommendations of that study into the approval, associated with the site plan. So, you know, whether it make you more comfortable to say, you know, special use is approved with these conditions and this traffic signal, this being, you know, the preliminary minimum standard, to go off of.
Wouldn't any changes to that have to be approved by TDOT?
Yes. Everything's gonna have to, so we create the design, our engineers
I
do.
mean, they couldn't just go out there and change it.
With the city and TDOT, it's gonna have to meet, this is kind of what TDOT has already said, this is what we will approve here.
Mhm.
This type of design, it's still gonna have to meet minimum additional standards of TDOT and the city engineering for, City of Loudon. But this is the design that TDOT would approve.
And that's what I'm talking about, is right now, if TDOT says good to go, okay. But I don't wanna approve this, and then later, TDOT or whoever changes their mind, and we end up with something less than what we thought we were getting. How do we protect ourselves as a council?
I think you could attach the condition to the special use approval that the, design submitted and considered by planning commission, considered as a condition and considered by city council, condition this approval subject to the incorporation of that design.
Okay, and that's what I'm
Would you like
asking
that
for.
would you like that to come back to city council as far as the final plat?
I don't know that they're legally
Yeah, but
standard to do that, but I think you can attach the condition that as presented.
I mean, I'd like to attach that condition to
as the
this.
construction of any required, Exhibit A to the approval is.
Is this currently preliminary approved
Yes.
plan? And that way it can't be diluted later. Because, I mean, this is the basis for saying yes or no. And so if we say yes, then I don't want it to come back and say, okay, we got that too, now we're gonna
Deviate or.
let's deviate because oops, it's gonna cost more, and it starts going down to where it's one red light, no turn lane, and TDOT approves it, and then we didn't get what we thought we were getting when we approved it.
Yeah, I think attaching the condition of the intersection red light design, I guess multi-phase, that is approved as a condition to be approved with the site plan.
Okay. And the second one is, it says developer provides assessment and provisions for overnight parking and light pollution. What does that mean to us?
I think we were gonna have to show, as far as the light pollution, kind of on our site plan, show the lighting that's used, the candle with, I'm butchering that term, I know, but light illumination, and show maybe the study of how that, where that spreads and all that.
Is that
He's
part
going-
of the
Yeah, it's-
planning, final plat, is that part of the final plat review?
It was a part of the site plan
Okay,
review.
Yeah,
It was a
Dan
request.
Brown, right, I think the conversation at planning commission was a photometric. It basically shows all the foot candles, we can show where the foot candles has to zero at the property line, so it's not bleeding onto neighboring properties. That was the intent to show why
Okay.
we shouldn't be.
And have we set a standard of what that is? Is it zero at the
It's
line?
Whatever that,
Hang on one second, Mitch.
It was requested by a commissioner on the planning commission. We do not have a standard for light. We would probably use the common practice to help us, but we have
And
no
what
standard.
is the common practice?
Well, we look at Knox County and other surrounding counties for their practice as far
Our
as
standard.
how much light leaks. A better way to describe it is like leakage from the site. All the light needs to stay on the site, and we would look at their standard to help us, but we do not have a standard current.
for racetrack minimum standard, like, just, I think to make it attractive, probably what the planning commission was looking for is recessed lighting. So you don't have, think of a gas canopy from the eighties where that bulb is below the canopy, you can see the glare into the right of way. All the lighting is recessed above the canopy, same with the area lights. Those bulbs are recessed and it's all LED, so we can direct it downward so you don't get that glare. And our photometric will show that we're minimizing those foot candles at the property line.
So that'll be a part of the site plan review too.
Be a part of the site.
So we're at the mercy of the planning commission just to do that correctly.
It's not
and
a
then-
part of our normal standard.
And then the other one is, well, I mean, just cause there's a sentence in here, I just wanna mean, what does it mean? And how do we guarantee it? The other part is the provisions for overnight parking. Now, I thought it wasn't gonna have overnight.
I think they just wanted some explanations of how you all monitor that.
Yeah, so, there was a lot of back and forth at the planning commission, I don't remember how that verbiage is managed, but we don't have overnight parking because we don't have overnight amenities. If a truck pulls in at 2 a.m. and parks, they may park for an hour or two, so there's not really a defined, what is that cutoff of overnight? If a truck parks for an hour or two, is that considered overnight? So we can't call a tow truck and, less than 2 hours notice, so stuff like that. So if a truck is parked beyond what we feel comfortable with racetrack, what triggers calling the tow truck is 12 hours, but that can be the conversation that happened with city council or planning commission.
But it's something y'all monitor.
Want that to be the cutoff.
Y'all monitor that.
Yeah, we monitor it, so.
So I
we
just
don't
wanna-
want a truck-
What the sentence is trying to tell me, where it says that the developer will provide assessment and provisions for overnight parking.
And I'm explaining how we enforce it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if y'all wanna make it more strict, you can, and we don't have any amenities that encourage overnight parking, and that's the best way for us to enforce it.
Now, is somebody gonna talk pictures over here to us?
There are pictures there if anybody would like to look at them. They're also included in your packet.
Yeah, the only question I have is from, I guess that's Commercial Park.
Between McDonald's and racetrack.
Yeah, so let's go from the racetrack entrance to the McDonald's entrance there at Commercial Park.
Now, if you notice, this racetrack's on the upper part.
Yes. And so that's gonna extend that 2-lane and make it basically a 3-lane down to Commercial Park.
The intersection?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the next question is from Commercial Park on down to Corporate Park, how far will that 2-lane go before it narrows back down?
Corporate Park, which Center 75.
Center
Yeah,
Park.
Center 75. So how far will that, because I see that you've got 2 traffic lights there, but how far does that 2-lane, because it's already narrowed down to 1 lane by right now. How long does that 2-lane go before it narrows down?
It stops there. It starts.
Talking about the one in the middle.
But you're talking about a commercial park? It's right here. So we
Okay,
have
go
three lanes at the intersection.
over to this picture here.
This other board,
So go to my left.
McDonald's.
Okay, right there, that intersection there. Go to your right and up. Okay, right there. So that's 3 lanes. You have 2 lanes. So you have is it a right turn lane?
Yeah, so this is going to be like a right turn lane that's gonna end. So the through traffic coming from the interstate is gonna come here, where normally right now, where there's like 2 lanes, it kind of merges
Yeah.
down to one.
Yeah, there's,
You got that
So-
cut through from
Yeah,
Wendy's and all that.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna just keep this
Keep it all.
second lane and widen it a little bit right here to have a right turn lane at the signal. And so your through traffic is just gonna come off and it's just gonna come straight through. Right
So that's a-
here,
that's
right
a
now
single lane
existing,
then.
this is 3 lanes.
So that's a right turn lane and then a left turn lane? Or is it just 2 lanes right there?
Right here,
Yeah.
there's gonna be, there's not gonna be a left turn,
Okay.
They have
So,
to turn in up
not a
here.
left turn.
They'd have to turn right there by Wendy's.
Yeah, the
Right.
left turn is
They'd have to turn in right there.
The left turn lane, this is,
No,
yeah, so this is
so the
the,
next one up, what is that dotted area? Put your finger back up there again.
this-
That right there, what is that?
so this right now, I think this is the Weigels
Mm-hmm.
parking lot.
It is.
So this is the end where the goes up to the end of Loudon and like the Wendy's is right here, and if you keep going up here, that's like the boulevard
To the hotel.
entrance. So, I guess it would be more accurate, right now there's like a boulevard right here.
There's the existing condition area
Yeah.
next to that.
Kinda,
So what is that area you had your finger in?
This is
Right here.
racetrack, this,
right here.
No, I got that, the dotted area that you had over here.
That's in between Weigels and then,
this.
What's it
it's
gonna
a
be
gore.
on here?
This is a gore, basically a strike median.
Okay, that's what, so it's a median, it's not a lane.
Right.
no, that's not like,
That's the question.
that's,
You can see, yeah, the hash marks on it, yeah.
Well, you might be able to.
Well, barely.
right. Right, so right now where this like slowly tapers down to 3 lanes, that's just kind of
So the
accounting
taper is
for that
moved to
extra
where
asphalt.
it's after that red light, it's a single lane.
And here's the existing condition today, this would be the
Right,
racetrack
so it
property,
kinda-
it's 2 lanes, it just merges right here into one.
And how far from the entrance to northbound 75 to here?
It's like 680 feet.
Okay. Because I'm just saying that if you're driving from Love's, you're in the right lane because all the truck traffic's getting in the left lane to go north. But that lane turns into a right turn lane, so you'd have to, after that, come back over to the left lane for through traffic.
The first driveway that we're proposing is 375 feet from the off-ramp.
From the off-ramp.
From the, yeah.
And then you've got all the way to the back.
So you have about 300 feet to get around trucks that might be turning northbound, because you have to be in the right lane to get around them, to get into the left lane to
Right,
continue
but there's
straight.
also an additional right turn lane, directly into the site that's separate from the right.
Now, I'm
turn
talking about
lane.
trucks turning left to go northbound on I-75 right now, because that's one of the problem areas, is trucks
Coming from Love's.
coming from northbound, get off, and they have to fight across the traffic, and then they come back and have to fight across traffic to get back on northbound interstate.
Yeah.
And so if you're driving there, you have to be in the right lane to get around those trucks. Then you have to swerve to the left lane to get into the through lane here.
Yeah, that'll be
If
that
they're-
way
if
till
they're
there's
backed
ever a
up.
light. that-
Way over here.
It'll be that way till there's a light.
There is no, in the 95th percentile queue that was talked about last time, there is no stacking that would go to the off-ramp.
I'm not worried about the stacking there, I'm worried about the stacking of trucks turning left to go northbound 75.
So those that are at the off-ramp, getting off of 75,
Not getting off, getting back on.
He's talking about
Love's
an
area.
existing problem that was created by the Loves.
Yeah, it's already there.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that, I said, because your lane is all dependent that people are in the left lane. Right now, you can't get in the left lane as you come across the bridge, because the trucks are stacked up, making a left turn to go northbound 75. And then they have to stop, get in the right lane, and then come back over to the left lane here.
Like I said, that's an existing condition.
there's the potential that some of those trucks that would have gone to Love's may come to us, but we,
I mean, that's stuff is hope,
Yeah.
is that anything coming up north
Keep
just
turning
turns
right.
right, and that,
it may even out.
well, I mean, that is
And two, I think maybe the red light on this side will at least throttle some through traffic for those trucks to be able to get onto the north lane, potentially.
Yeah,
And,
that might
and those
give
lights will
them,
be synced.
Give them
might give them a
a
little
little
bit
more
of gap.
time.
Yeah.
And how far back does the turn lane going in go back? Does it go all the way back to the off-ramp?
Our right end.
No, I think it's 200 feet maybe, what's this say on the site plan? This turn lane, 150, enough to stack. You don't really need to stack on the right turn lane, but
And then
That's
you
just
gotta
pretty
go,
much the
you got
main
that
road,
link to
just to
back
get
to
them
the
off
back
the
of the, back to the back of the.
Is that 150 feet?
150 feet this turn lane.
Okay.
All right, would you like to make a motion with your conditions?
So right now we have on there what?
So right now, the way the resolution is currently drafted, it is hereby approves the racetrack application for special use of the truck stop at the corner of Commercial Park Drive and Highway 72 with the following conditions. Those 4 conditions that were recommended by the Planning Commission to take into account the discussion we've had this evening. We could modify the 3rd bullet point to say, construction of any required off-site transportation improvements as depicted on the exhibits attached to this resolution prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy.
Okay. You think that'll work?
I think that'll work.
You good with that?
Give that, yeah, basically as presented.
Yeah.
That's all my questions.
Okay, we have a motion to
I'll make the
approve.
motion.
Do we have a second?
Wait a minute, made the motion?
He's making the motion.
Are you making the motion, Councilman Corbin?
Tim make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
As amended.
Motion as amended.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. Any more questions that racetrack, their representatives can answer? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Did you say no? Okay. Got 3 to 1. Okay, motion passes. Thank you all. Okay. Next, resolution is authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $9.2 million in principal amount of electric system revenue bonds. This was voted on previously. I'll let Councilman Cardwell, if he wants to expand on that.
As I said in the workshop, this is the first issuance of what could be up to $50 million bond issue for the upgrade of the substations for the electrical. And the primary is going in to build a new one that's going to support PPG in the industrial park. And this was voted on tonight by the utility board, and they recommend approval to this board.
And it was a unanimous vote.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve that recommendation of the utility board.
Okay, motion second. Any questions what this is about? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorizing the purchase of 2 2025 Ford Police Interceptor utility all-wheel drive vehicles. This is in the budget of 2024-2025. You see the price, $44,601 for each. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next item is authorization participation in the Omnia, is that how you say that? Omnia Partners Purchasing Cooperative. Our city recorder, Melissa Huskin, requests approval to adopt this partnership purchasing cooperative, requiring 3 quotes or sealed bids, which the TCAs are listed there, which authorize any local government of the state to participate in the master agreement by adopting this resolution, accepting the terms. Melissa, you want to expand on any? Just pretty much clear here, but we need
This is a routine resolution to allow us greater purchasing flexibility.
Motion to approve.
okay, we have a motion to approve and a second by Councilmember Newman. Any questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ordinance on second reading is amending the personnel rules and regulations. This is the police officer assigned to a 14-day duty cycle. Overtime is paid when the work exceeds 84 hours. We discussed this. Okay, motion?
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any questions about it? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Newman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, next item is amending the 2024-2025 fiscal year budget. Melissa Huskin has identified the items shown in the ordinance for the 2024-2025 budget amendments. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Just that safe haven baby box, that's gonna be reimbursed, correct? That cost?
I think that's already been, we already received that money, right, wasn't it?
It was reimbursed.
Yeah, is it all installed now?
It's,
I know it's in the process.
It will be, we'll have it on billing, I'll make sure to include you all in the
Okay.
invitation.
I was gonna say, let's make sure we get that, advertised and we'll get the newspaper and everything there. Any other questions on the budget amendment you had?
No.
Okay, I need a motion and a second.
We already have.
I got that? Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, some ordinance on first reading. This one was the anti-noise regulations for the city of Loudon. This would replace existing subsection 11-502 with more clarification. That was handed out at the workshop. I didn't receive any changes. There may be some that didn't get to me, so if there's changes that needs to be made to it, we'd have to push it out to September workshop if there's more changes.
Start over.
Right. If there's no changes to the resolution, we'll adopt it tonight, on first reading. And it can always be changed between second reading, can it not?
No,
No.
no, we would
Okay.
start
Only
over.
budget.
Only budget, okay.
Before we do it, I would say is that I don't think we're there yet, but I think I wanna go ahead and proceed
Get
with
some
it.
in, okay.
And knowing that, I think we almost have to get it out on the street and start testing it and then get feedback from a certain period and then
We
do
can
some
always- Yeah,
modifications.
we can always go back
So
and,
with that, I'll make a motion that we adopt it.
I'll second.
on first reading. Okay, have a motion and a second. Any questions about it? I think Councilman Carr was right. At least we've got it this far, let's go ahead and put it into
I don't
action.
want perfect to get in the way of good.
And it can always be amended and updated.
Yes.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
No.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, then we'll, do a 6:20?
6:20, please, on September 23rd.
Okay. Next item is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Loudon by repealing section 14, chapter 10, historic zoning commission, and replacing it in its entirety with the new section 14-108 edition that was looked at on August 7th.
Motion to approve.
Okay, have a
I'll
motion to
second.
approve, have a motion and second, any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
So we'll do 6:25.
On September 23rd. Thank you.
Exactly. Okay. Next is fuel quotes. August 8th, the low quote for purchase of fuel was received from Rogers Petroleum for the projected amount of $19,950. Just for your information. Have several appointments. Some will need council's consent. And the unfortunate passing of Councilmember Webb, we have an opening on the Historic Zoning Commission. Vice Mayor Dixon has agreed to fill that role. He had that role before, so I'll appoint him to that seat on the Historic Zoning Commission. That does not need council's consent. We do have a Civil Service Board. That's a 6-year term. That has been occupied in the past by Tommy Nicholson. He is asked to be replaced on that, and Rick Moore has agreed to serve in that capacity. So I'd like to make that recommendation if council agrees with that. All those in favor with that appointment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, appreciate that. Next is some Recreation Advisory Committee members. I think that Councilmember Newman, I guess, have expressed an interest in these folks. I have talked to each one. First one is Leanne Chihaz. She'll be fulfilling out Admiral Webster's unexpired term of 1 year which expires next June 2025. Ms. Chihas has agreed to finish out that term. So all those in favor of Leanne Chihas filling that role, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, just to add a little clarity, so, the RIC, we actually had about 6 applicants come through, so
Okay.
this was a joint effort by the RIC
Okay,
to appoint these members, so,
Okay.
Everybody about to say it's already been, I guess, vetted and approved by the
thank you,
RIC.
thank you for that clarification.
And when is her term running?
Hers will go from now to June 30th of 2025, just filling out Admiral Webster's term, yes. And the next one is the same thing. It's Michael Grady's unexpired term. It'll be filled by Matt Gentry, and that will also go to June 30th of 2025. All those in favor of Matt Gentry filling that seat, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the last one is a full 3-year term. It'll expire June 30th of 2027. This was a vacant seat, I think, that no one was in. Bill Davis has been recommended, and I've spoken to Mr. Davis. He has agreed to serve that 3-year term. And all those in favor of that appointment say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All 3 of those candidates were excited about being asked, so I think we'll get some good participation from those. And I thank the Recreation Advisory Committee for their due diligence there to make those recommendations. Let's see, the Transportation Plan Organization update. We have, I'm gonna let Michael kind of tee it up. A big part of what we're doing here with this TPO grant is getting public input. So we have a special day set up on September 3rd. Michael, if you wanna just expand on that a little bit.
Sure, yeah, so the idea is just to create an opportunity for people to come in person. We'll have some boards set up. We'll be able to, set a pin on some places where you may have some ideas of that we could do better, or be able to kind of help us drive the direction of our master plan study.
Yeah, and there's an interactive map as well that people can interact with on their computer or, smartphone. They can actually pin a location. I mean, we don't drive every street, so we may not know where every little bottleneck is or problem area. So we'll need everybody's help in getting the word out.
Here,
It'll be here in this room
4,
from 4 to 7.
That's the 3rd.
Both here,
September 3rd.
both here and online will be opportunity to prioritize express what's more important to people. Is that sidewalks? Is that seeing more crosswalks? Is it traffic signalization? What kind of improvements would we be more willing to support and look to as a community? So that opportunity again will be available here, and then there's an electronic version of that online for folks that can't make it.
We'll push it out on our social media pages.
that
They've
was the
created,
questions.
they've created a web banner we can put on, a QR code. So I don't know if that's live yet or not. They were waiting on some final.
So we should be doing that in the middle of the week.
Okay.
That should be able to go live.
So I'll send out an email to everyone that it's live, and we just need everyone's help promoting it and getting the public out, because we really need public input on that. It'll be a really good thing, I think. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
And then the last thing on other is the Pellissippi training. I think I sent this list out to everyone. This will be starting in October. We have 22 participants at this time, city and utilities. These classes will run from October the 9th to end of January. They'll be on Wednesday mornings, 8:30, 11:30 session 1, and then 12:30, 3:30 session 2 in this room here. Pellissippi State will be coordinating all the coursework and classwork. So we're excited about that.
And I'm
Looking
sorry,
forward
what
to
are the dates on
that. It starts October the 9th. Y'all welcome to drop in and see how that's going.
that? 9 and
8:30 to 11:30 is the morning session,
Mhm.
and then 12:30 to 3:30 is the afternoon session.
And it goes the 9th
It
until.
goes from the 9th until the 29th. It's bi-weekly. You know, they've skipped some in November because of, you know, Thanksgiving holidays, and we had to go around planning commission meetings, which is always on a
You
Wednesday.
just sent us the date, or did that, was that
Yeah,
in there?
that's in the
Okay.
packet, yeah,
Oh,
it's in the,
sorry.
it's in the packet,
Okay.
and a list of participants with one marked off already. As you know, Greg Hensley, you may or may not know, I sent out an email today. Greg Hensley and our customer service director has, sent us his desire to retire. There's a retirement lunch for him being planned on September 3rd, that same Tuesday at 11 o'clock at the Ops Center. So make sure everybody got that email I sent out earlier. And then the last thing I had is, don't forget the Battle of the Bridges this Thursday. We've got one more slot on that board up there we need to fill in with the Loudon wind. I think it'll hold another $1 up there, behind the plastic, so. Be sure you, and that's gonna be on TV, by the way, if you didn't know that. So it's gonna be on a Thursday night, game of the week. Okay, we'll go to department reports. Mark, we'll start with you. I've
Sure.
been told to cut you off quick.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of minutes tonight, so probably 15. I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about a new program we're developing, NFL flag football. It's become very popular nationwide. There are a lot of incentives for the kids to play this program. This does not interfere in any way, shape, or form with our quarterback club organization here in Loudon. It actually kind of falls into place after the quarterback club is finished. It's played on Sunday afternoons. The kids just have 2 hours of activity a week. They'll have a live practice before the games, and somewhere between 12:30 and 4:30, 5 o'clock, everyone will participate. The only reason I want to bring that up tonight is because we don't want to bring up every program that we initiate, but this one's kind of been parity, I guess is the best way. There's going to be some hidden costs. We have spent a lot of time and research and trying to develop this program. And in doing that, every time we turn around, there's a new charge here and there. So Melissa's prepared me to, I guess, hit me a little bit. But there's going to probably be a budget amendment toward the end of registrations here as we figure out the cost of this program. We try to get the cost as cheap as we could and also be competitive with here in our city and Sweetwater and other communities to do this. We think it's going to be very exciting. We've already got, I think, 40-something kids already registered for it. We were shooting for 50 this year, and we were shooting for 100 this year, and we think we'll reach our goal. And in the future, there'll be some more costs with this, such as scoreboards and things like that, but we're just buying the bare minimum to get through the program. Again, the only reason I mentioned it because I think we'll be coming back for a budget in the near future as we figure some of this out. We just completed Riverfest. I think this was the 13th annual Riverfest. Huge success once again. Had right at 90 vendors to show up. We appreciate Kathy Price is not here tonight. She did the Loudon Alive and the V-Dubs where Volkswagen showed came that morning. Had an activity under the bridge on Hackberry. I think she said 14 of those vehicles showed up, and we had a good time. Also, for the first time, we had a canoeing organization called Tennessee Riverline. If you guys are not familiar with that, you need to jump in there and do a little research. They're very, very active in developing I guess you could say an Appalachian Trail along the river.
How many kayakers did they have, you know?
They had 47. 47 in the first year, so we want to thank Rodney Grugan and Blair, what's her name, Madison, Mary?
Sitzler.
Mary. And they worked hard, they handled that program from A to Z. All we had to do was advertise it, they promoted it, they put the canoes in, they picked the canoers up and take them back to Lawrence City. If you've ever canoed from Lawrence City to Loudon, it's not as easy as you think. I think it's about 12 miles, and it's a hard trip because people think the current of the river will carry you. And it's not, that everyone had a good time. Hopefully next year we'll double that number as well. So Riverfest had a couple of programs that kind of made it last a little bit longer. We started at 9 that morning. The news ended up at about 3 that afternoon, 22 and 3. So great month for us at Parks and Rec, and thank y'all very much.
But Mark, I'll just tell you, I mean, I went down there the day after, just drove, and you couldn't find a piece of trash. I mean, your guys did you did a bang-up job.
Top notch.
Of all the people that was down there, when you went, I mean, I didn't see any paper anywhere. I mean, that was,
Very appreciative of the guys, they do a good job.
your guys did awesome. They did a great job. About the NFL flag football, I tell you that, my grandkids played in it last year, in Winter City. It is a huge thing. I'm telling you, it's big.
Yeah.
And it gets, with the NFL sponsored teams and all that kind of thing, it just adds to it. But if you haven't seen or participated in it, it's a really good program.
Where do we get more info on it?
I'm sorry?
Where do we get more information?
LoudonParks.com.
To what?
LoudonParks.com. Find all the information about it. Also, you can go to the NFL flag and it'll direct you to Loudon. It's big enough that they're handling their own advertising.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess they're a little bit discouraging because you can't get discounts, you can't do the things that we do at other programs. Because there is such a sharpening of the pencil and everything is right down to how much the mouthpiece costs, what you have to play in the game. So it's not a cheap program, but $45, we think we're really, get 6, 7 games for $45. So we think it's a good activity.
Yeah, I was very impressed with it. And it's Sunday afternoon, it's practice and game same day. I mean, it don't take up your whole week, that kind of thing. So I think it's a great thing that we're doing.
Yes.
Michael, you have anything? City engineer?
So thank you for your time and attention to the special use review application. Also, thanks for the review and approval of the historic zoning ordinance also. And we'll be advertising for the transportation master plan this week, and look for your participation in that and welcome it. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a shout. And, we'll try to answer the best we can.
Okay, thank you. Travis?
No, sir.
No, he's hiding back there. Director Brubaker?
No, sir, Mayor.
Okay. Mitch, earlier you were standing up, but then you got blocked out.
I was actually, gonna give you an answer to the foot candles on the lighting. Zoning board member, Mr. Brennan, pressed pretty hard on that, and
He
I
always does,
agreed
yeah.
to a number that I was gonna offer so you can put in there. So it was 1 foot candle at the property line is what he pressed for. And, I understand he might be departing, so I hope somebody picks up that charge, because that was one of my bigger concerns, is the lighting pollution.
Dennis is always on it.
Oh, yeah, he's always about lighting. Yeah, he brings it up every time. Okay. And Director Brubaker, you didn't have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Melissa, you have anything from City
No,
Board?
thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Megan, from your point,
Yes,
do you
sir.
have anything?
No.
Okay, council member reports. Councilmember Newman?
RAC meeting Wednesday, August the 28th at 5:30. Mayor.
So, I guess we need to get Brooke the contact information for the new members. Does Brooke send out the,
Yeah,
There'll be
Okay.
Jeff Trout now.
or Jeff Trout? Yeah, okay. We'll have to get their email, I've got their phone numbers. I can get their email addresses, so we can get the stuff sent to them. Okay, Vice Mayor Dixon, you have some planning commission?
I do. Planning Commission met on August 7th. The only thing we had on it was, to elect new officers. The motion was made to leave the officers as is for the remainder of the year. That was voted on unanimous. The Board of Zoning Appeals, we had Lynn Rucker came and wanted approval to open a feral cat location on 1127 Grove Street. That was denied by the zoning appeals. We had property owner Keith and Rachel Weber, 5721 River Road, for special exception for farm stand. They cannot have a farm stand, but they can sell their flowers out of their home. They cannot have any signage or lighting on the facility for this. And that was approved by the zoning appeals.
Okay. Is that all you have?
That's all I have.
Okay, Councilmember Cardwell?
The Loudon Utility Board met today at 4:30. Items for action, as you know, we approved the recommendation for the $9.2 million bond issue. We also voted on an electrical rate change effective 1 November, and it will be an additional $2 per customer starting November 1st, and that'll go till the end of our next fiscal year, and we'll have to re-vote it. We authorized the equipment for consolidation of surplus, had several items for sale that we picked a different vendor, J.J. Keynes, to handle that auction of surplus equipment. We also authorized LJA Engineering to reauthorize their engineering services, mainly in the sewer water distribution and GIS services. We established the national gas rate at 101, which is down about 9 cents from the previous month.
And I think you had a historic meeting, didn't you?
Yes. We also had, on August 20th, we had a Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. In it, we covered, first was our grant. We put in a grant for $5,000 matching to help with landscaping on one of our trails. That was declined. But we learned from the process, so we're hoping to get back in on some of them for next year. We also covered the historic zoning ordinance that we just passed on first reading, which is sort of the key element for our CLG application. So thank you very much for step one on that. And the last thing we covered is, as you know, we're working on the historic walking trails, and we're working on the red line. At the next workshop, I'm going to provide y'all with an overview of what that is, where the locations are, what the route is, and sort of what we're looking at in concept. Because what we're going to need from City Council is an approval of a vendor. And because of the cost, we have to go out and get 3 bids, because that vendor is what's important, because that's how we start getting the design and work on the signs. We're sort of stuck when we get a write-up, so we have to do the graphic design with them. So we'll run that through Melissa and then try to have that to you by workshop so we can go ahead and take the next step. Right now, we're getting the write-ups for the different locations, and we're also working on getting pictures of all the different locations on what we call the red route. But I'll have y'all a sort of a briefing and an overview by workshop. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Had a lively discussion, I think, when Loudon started.
Yes, we had the discussion there, and how many people in Loudon are named Cotton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, man. Well, just some service anniversary dates. First with Loudon Utilities, we have Ashley Collins in our accounting department. She's celebrating 2 years. Jeremiah Collis in the gas department's also 2 years. Adam Young in the sewer department's 2 years. Ty Davis, water treatment plant, 4 years. Ryan Moore in accounting's been 5 years. Clifton Henry in the electric department is 7 years. Tony Thompson in the water treatment plant is 10 years. Brian Lindsay, sewer department's 12 years. Brad Parks, wastewater treatment plant, 23 years. Clay Townsend, sewer department, 27 years. Lynn Davis, 27 years in the gas department. And Chucky Hughes, wastewater treatment plant, he's celebrating 29 years of service to the Loudon Utilities. So if you run into any of those employees, thank them for their years of service. We also have in the city, Jared Valetto, is that how you say it? 1 year, and Cameron Kelly 1 year. Now some of these were part-time. This is just their year that they've been full-time. And then Greg Johnson, fire department, 2 years. Marco Luna, police department, 3 years. Our very own Michael Hogan, 4 years. Mike, thank you, Michael, for your 4 years of service.
Feels like 10.
Yeah, I didn't include it, Phil. Brian McFalls, fire department, 9 years. Sean Bivens, facility and maintenance, 16 years. Love Clifton, 18 years. And Billy Rowland, facility and maintenance, 28 years. So again, if you see these employees, we thank them for their service, because there's what makes things happen, the employees we have. So that's all I have. Is there any other closing comments?
Birthdays.
Oh, birthdays, okay, thanks.
Michael Hogan, August the second,
It's all about you, Mike.
Melissa Heskins, August 23rd.
Happy birthday,
And
Melissa.
that's, administration department. Police department was Brendan DeBoer,
Happy birthday, Brandon.
August 23rd, Ben Everett, August 22nd. The fire department, Bill James, August 22nd. Brian McFalls, August 24th. Robert Simmons, August 9th. In the public works was Jason Bivens, August 7th.
Happy birthday, Jason.
In the water department, CB Houston, August 7th. And Larry Miller, August 18th. Sewer department, Brian Lindsay, August the 4th. And Clay Townsend, August 8th. The gas department, Adam Young, August 10th. Water plant, Chris Dodson, August 21st. Wastewater treatment plant, Bill Collis, August the 20th. And customer service, Kathy Ridings, August the 16th. That's it.
Okay. I want to thank council for their cooperation tonight. We got quite a bit accomplished here, I think, so. All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all for coming.
7:31.
Okay, first time we ever had 4 birthdays.